And joining us now over the phone is Weny political analyst Dr. Jim Twombly. Jim, thanks for joining us tonight to shed some light on the points the president hit on during his final State of the Union address.
Now, Dr. Twombly, the tone of the president's address was much different from his previous State of the Unions. He gave some statistics on what his administration achieved economically in the beginning, but not much of that through the speech. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, yeah, I think in the very beginning of the speech, he was really addressing the record of his administration and building the groundwork for a very optimistic look to the future, his belief about America and what it can do. I think those who are supporters of Barack Obama will have found the speech very inspirational, and those who have been critics will find plenty to criticize. I mean, it's more of the same tone, the same policy positions that he's had in the past.
And Jim, what are some of the topics that caught your attention? I know you mentioned to us about President Obama mentioned something about climate change.
Well, I think he used it as a metaphor, or he used actually space race as a metaphor for the climate change debate. He used words about the Russian launch of Sputnik. He said, "We didn't deny Sputnik was in orbit. We built a space program overnight, and 12 years later, we were walking on the moon," setting the tone for both the anti-cancer program that he asked Joe Biden to head, and to say to Republicans in the chamber tonight that we don't have to talk about the science. We can talk about moving America ahead with technology and industry that address these issues without necessarily having to agree on the science of climate change.
Definitely. And moving on to our final question, there were a few not so subtle jabs at Trump. And one part of the speech, the president says, quote, "When politicians insult Muslims, when a mosque is vandalized or a kid bullied, that doesn't make us safer. That's not telling it like it is." It's kind of a quote Trump says all the time about political correctness, right?
Yeah, I mean, he used two of Trump's signature phrases there, the telling it like it is and the political correctness. He never named Trump, but it was quite obvious who he was talking about. And it was one of those moments in the speech when Republicans, particularly Paul Ryan, got to their feet rather enthusiastically and gave him not just applause, but a standing ovation. It was almost as though they were saying, this is what we've been waiting for, somebody else, not in our own party, to take on Donald Trump. That room was filled with Republican establishment. They're not happy with how well Donald Trump has been doing so far.